Alright everybody, welcome to the 4th season of Johnny's Scrims, the third game we've had this week in fact. It is going to be I, Toasty, joined here by Lunaire for today's game of Alpha Centauri versus Unbind S. Hello Lunaire, how you feeling?
Hello. I'm actually a little bit concerned about my voice, so I hope it will go right and you will be able to hear me all the time. How are you, Toasty?
Not too bad, not too bad. I'm super hyped for this game coming up. We don't know too much about the teams, but we do know that they're pretty similarly skilled in terms of SR. I believe Unbind S are a little bit higher, like in terms of their individual players. So I definitely think that this will be a match where Alpha Centauri kind of have to play as a team a bit more, but it should definitely be a high-tempo game given these teams are kind of average 3.5, which is pretty decent in terms of Overwatch.
Yeah, that is correct, and I'm excited because the even matches are the most fun to cast because there's no this big skill gap, and the both teams can actually have fun, and the match also lasts longer because the skill is just so close.
Yeah, absolutely, and we are going to be starting off here on Busan, which will end up being a pretty varied map as far as compositions go. So I think this is going to be the map where these teams are going to kind of feel each other out, figure out what the other one wants to play, and then we're going to get into a lot more chaotic counter-comping a bit later on in the series. But for now, I think either of these teams wants to be winning out here on Busan if they can.
Yeah, Busan is the map that you can see any composition, to be fair. So I think we will just see what the teams will be like the most comfortable on. So we actually see the marking composition on both sides. So it is almost mirrored. Except there are some small DPS differences on both sides. So I don't think they will actually keep Symmetra. I think they will swap to Tracer, so it will be full mirror.
Yeah, absolutely. So this will be, I think, kind of the deciding round even of this map, right? Because whoever pulls ahead in this kind of neutral game will be the one probably having a little bit more confidence going into the later parts of the map. And yeah, like you say, I mean, it's not quite a mirror. It is going to be a Reaper versus Tracer, which actually I think benefits Alpha Centauri here. You can have a lot more punch into the backline here with Orsio's Tracer, and as you can see already, kind of zipping around and looking for a target. Both of these teams really want to edge themselves in and try and get a kill off as DarthMurloc goes quite low, so has to back up, in fact, being hard engaged onto. Very dangerous for a Monkey into a Reaper composition here, and Arcane gets the peel onto Orsio. That's a good starting pick here, and now potentially Unbind S can just hard commit. There's no Lucio to disengage for Alpha Centauri. You see a hack attempt come through there as Orsio swaps to the Reaper. Now the Coalescence comes through. Purple going to be allowing their team to get in there and deal the damage, and that'll be a good starting fight for Unbind S.
Yeah, that was very, very good start, and the first pick just made this fight being just like a win. As soon as the first person just came down with the more damage coming from the Reaper, it was just we already knew what's going to happen. And now the Alpha actually changed to Reaper, so they want to mirror it.
Yeah, and I think that's a better decision here. You really want that damage onto Oliver, but speaking of Oliver, they go in with a Primal Rage there, so looking to create some disruption. A Coalescence from Nostalgia to try and keep their team up in the midst of it, as now they have the potential for a re-engage. Oliver has gone down extremely low from that. Arcane does have that beat online to save them if they need to, but there's a hack onto Trix Cold. That stops the engage of Alpha Centauri. They can't play too aggressive now, but they're still going to go ahead. Oliver going to get hacked up here, going down extremely low, but DarthMurloc maybe overcommitting a little bit. There's a beat there from Arcane, and now a Death Blossom from Katzen. It catches out Nostalgia. There's a ton of healing gone now, and it's going to be hard for Alpha Centauri to get in. They've used their beat, but now they're going to move over towards that point. There's a big EMP, a bomb to follow up onto it, and maybe get a couple of kills. Here's a Death Blossom, though. Orsio going to be the hero of this team fight, getting a couple down. It is still kind of up in the air, but it does seem as if Alpha Centauri will come out on top here.
Yeah, which is very surprising because economically they were actually worse than Unbind S, because Unbind S won first fight and Alpha also changed to a Reaper. So that making them turn it around, it's so nice to look at. And they need to cap right now because there's timer going to almost 90%, so they want to secure this point right now.
Yeah, and they will definitely be able to get it, but it's just a matter of how much percentage it'll be before that happens. Finally, there we have it. But in that stall, Lenoxy built up an EMP, which was pretty good for the next engagement now.
Yeah, they need to make sure that they will play split, so not all the team will get captured in that DMP, but they are playing in the very close room, so it's gonna be difficult. And the play, let's say, Unbind S just needs one fight to win this point.
Yeah, and they could get that fight right here, but they have lost their Moira early on, which makes it a little bit more difficult. Katzen and Oliver are going to go down quite low. Probably going to end up getting taken down as well. And yeah, Unbind S, what they need is a clear engage with that EMP, and they didn't have it there.
Yeah, but they might just want to build up, they almost have a Reaper ult. So if they build up ultimates, they can just go all in. They just need 4%. It is very little. One fight, and they got this.
Yeah, absolutely. Lenoxy gonna pressure out the backline here, potentially looking for an EMP at some point. There's a hack onto the Sombra, though. That could be massive. The Colossus comes through, but it's not enough to save Jabba. And that was 90% towards an EMP. Now, the one from the Lenoxy comes through. That catches 5 members. An Unbind S off of the back of that initial pick. They've managed to make this one into their favor. Big EMP from Lenoxy, and, well, they'll just flip things right over as soon as they take down Orcio. Is there even going to be a contest? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, so, what can we think about both teams? I think it's like Alpha is making an early engage, and even sometimes able to manage to get a pick, but somehow Unbind S, just like the name say, they just don't go back. So even with having 5v6 situation, they are very aggressive, going to push in, commit to the fight. They turn the situation around, and they are able to win the fight.
Yeah, absolutely, and if we're looking at the compositions we're getting through here as well, it's looking like now we're not going to see too much of that kind of Winston, Tracer, Winston Reaper, that kind of stuff. We are going to end up seeing a cold mirror here on the Brawl. We might end up seeing Katzen stay on the Symmetra, and it does look as if they will be doing that. So they should be able to have a lot more damage output over the course of this team fight. Orcio needs to get use out of this flashbang. As an early engagement, both Maywall's going to end up being used here. And it does look as if, I mean, Alpha Centauri, they're being forced backwards. DarthMurloc Shield's almost gone, and there's the shatter from Oliver. That was quick, to say the least, and that just ends in a teamfight win for them.
Yeah, the additional damage that Symmetra is doing, especially when she charges up like her primary, it's just so much being able to push with the turrets and the shields just going down, and that made Oliver have be able to shatter for free.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though the shatter didn't really get too much, I think it got 1 member, if anything. It was quite impressive, to be fair, and Oliver's almost lapping DarthMurloc in ult charge again here as well. Alpha Centauri have to try and get onto this point now and force everyone on Unbind S back. But that's kind of what Unbind S want to do. They want to push forward, they want to play aggressive, but maybe that'll go back in their faces here as Oliver gets taken down. A wall investment here, though, from Katzen. They want to turn this around. Nostalgia ends up falling, but that aggression was kind of misplaced. They invested ultimately into a fight they did not have any business winning.
It seems like now Alpha will capture the point, but what I kind of see here, it's like a little bit of a target focus lag. So I think if they will just get this target focus better, they will be able to turn it around.
Well, there's a slam from DarthMurloc, doesn't catch anything, so Orcio's going to use the High Noon, deals a lot of damage there. Oliver's going to get felled immediately as a bomb from the D.Va, won't catch too much, but DarthMurloc actually, their shield went down, they're going to get taken out by Katzen, so maybe that bomb actually went well. A very sneaky Blizzard from the backside helps catch Orcio out, and now everyone's going to direct their attention towards the point for Unbind S. They're going to take out the remaining members, and that was, again, another interesting team fight. Early ultimate investments from Alpha Centauri that just didn't get anything.
Yeah, and the sneaky ultimate of the May, like you said, it was not only zoning ultimate, but I think even got somebody caught off the surprise and they died because of it. So now Unbind is back in the charge of the point, but it's going back and forth this fight. It seems like Alpha is coming from bottom right now.
Oh, there's a nice shatter though. Jabba and the D.Va of Trick's Gold gonna get taken out by that. And yeah, I mean, Trick's Gold even has to bomb just to try and remake, but it doesn't even matter in the scope of the team fight. Very, very quick team fight win for Unbind S there. Just buy some time.
Yeah, they really need to build up the ultimates because Unbind S, they still have the more ultimates, so they need to like push it together. Oh, there's a good Maywall.
That is gigantic, and the beat can't even save them there. Oliver, maybe a little bit too far forward. There will be both walls of Lenoxy and Katzen invested here to try and maybe turn this back into their favor. I mean, the wall from Lenoxy specifically bought time. Now, Alpha Centauri rotating onto the point. They're lacking that high ground advantage. Orsio's going to need to rely on potentially this high noon to turn things into their favor. There's the Blizzard. It comes through, doesn't get eaten up, so Jabba going to have all of that point control going their way. And Alpha Centauri, right as it hits 99% in the final hour, they'll be flipping things back over. But it's like you said before, one team fight is all Unbind S needs.
Yeah, but that was beautifully done. The Maywall, they focused that one down. With forcing of the ultimates, they rotated very, very well. Like, it was so nicely executed. You just watch and admire it.
Yeah, absolutely. And DarthMurloc maybe looking for a bit of a turn shatter here, maybe around the corner. I wouldn't be surprised, but it looks like there's going to be a different rotation. So Unbind S are actually going to TP up to the high ground. I've never seen that before, but it will actually end up in Lenoxy getting a great Blizzard off there. It catches two. Jabba and Trixcall going to get caught out by that. Jabba's going to fall. A slam from DarthMurloc to try and turn things back into their favor, but it's a little bit too late. There's not enough follow-up. Orsio comes through with a kill onto Purple, but that does not matter at all. Unbind S came back with a very strong engagement there, and they'll be taking the first map of Busan here 2-0. They are looking good.
Yeah, that is true. The tactics, the element of the surprise just made them get this point. We don't often see Symmetra being played like that. The TP to the window and just like element of the surprise with the May ult. Even though Alpha, they just had ultimates there. They had Shatter, they had window. They were so surprised that even though the Shatter went for, they didn't have follow-up for it, like you mentioned it before. So
yeah, I mean the lack of follow was because of the Blizzard as well, right? I mean, Lenoxy came through with that, and it eliminates a couple players. That's all you really need from Unbind S, and I feel like they're using their ultimates a lot more for those individual kills. Like we saw, like for example, when Oliver shattered 2 on point in a previous team fight, when they're using Blizzards just to catch a couple people out. Alpha Centauri are looking for hero plays, which I think is something they need to stop doing.
yeah, definitely. It came off strong from Unbound as definitely they knew them up. They had planned out strategy. Looking forward for seeing some more strategy from Alpha. Maybe they have some they have some surprises for us. They have some strategy. Maybe it was just one worse map for them that they didn't quite like. Happens, to be fair. But yeah, the hero plays we often see. Like Ryan was trying to shatter to save, but there was no follow-up. The target focus needs to be just a little bit more there because I see couple people just walking around and doing a lot of damage to many people, but nothing is kind of dying because there's not enough damage focused on one person. If they will come around with this, if they will do more target focusing, they will definitely be able to win more fights with it.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully Alpha Centauri can come back here on Blizzard World as well. It's another Brawl map. Well, I say it's a Brawl map. You can play Brawl on it. And I felt like Alpha Centauri were at least a little bit more comfortable on the Brawl. Because I think the thing with the 6-man was that they wanted to kind of tend towards having Orsio play that kind of Tracer, but then they were forced back onto the Reaper, which I think they were uncomfortable on. If you can, on Blizzard World, maybe either get a dive or a Brawl composition, which I think Alpha Centauri looked great on Tracer and on the regular Brawl. Either of those things where you can just get Orsio onto maybe a comfort hero, I think is pretty good. Because Orsio's McCree was also pretty, Cassidy was also pretty good. So definitely something to keep in mind there for Alpha Centauri.
Yes, but there's one composition that we didn't see from both sides yet, which is spam. Also, being able to play it on Blizzard World, the double shield composition from this high ground advantages, or there's like high ground and like the many angles from the point that you can actually play double shield very well. So maybe we'll just see another new composition from both of the teams instead of seeing something what we already saw.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be opposed to having like a double shield composition being played by either one of these teams. The one thing that I think could make this exponentially more boring is if both of the teams play double shield. I do not think that's going to be likely on Blizzard World offense, though. It's such a hard composition to play when you're at a high ground disadvantage because double shield thrives on high ground, so I don't think we'll see it on offense. But I think defense definitely is something that Unbind S here could consider on their starting defense.
Definitely. You can also do some changes, like for example, even double shield with Brick if you decide to play far back. So then Brick is denying the dive from like flankers, which is also very, very strong. Well, we do see actually double shield with Brick.
Yeah, that's interesting. So this is kind of a throwback to that one meta there was in Overwatch League where you'd play
Yeah.
like Bap Brig Genji, right? And like the Brig was there to deal with the Genji, but except we're seeing it in this composition, and we've had a DC from Unbind S, so I'm not sure what we're planning to do about that.
Well, they definitely have some time to get. Maybe they will ask for the pause. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So, the double shield, it's there. So, definitely how I see it's being played is that instead of going for the close high ground that we usually see on the left side from the from defensive point of view, I think they will play all the way back on the point. That's where the Brick will be playing around the stairs. There will be Soldier, and definitely Orisa on the ground, Sigma on top. Um, Something like that. From the other side, we have Ball. So what we can see here, definitely Tracer, Sombra trying to go on the back line and try to get like value out of there. So they need to be careful of the Brick because she can spot them and deny they dive. Um, what they should be like, well, it's definitely the Brick is benefiting in this case for a double shield composition because they are weaker against dive composition like Ball. So having that additional like tankiness from Brick is definitely good. Um,
Yeah,
what do
I
you
mean,
think?
against a ball composition, I think, like for Unbind S here, who are obviously starting off on defense, I think that it's one a heads up play from them to just come out on break, expecting maybe a dive, maybe this kind of hyper dive that we're also seeing. It really just it's kind of versatile. Even if you are in that double shield mirror, you kind of still like to have that break in case the enemy team likes to play a tracer, which Orcio naturally does. I mean, Orcio is playing it right now, just in not the double shield composition. And well, we appear to have lost our observer feed here, so we'll be taking a moment to get into the game, it appears.
Yeah, Orisa is likely back into the game before the fight starts, so there's no loss there. But what I'm surprised to see is that Break is not playing on the high ground, but directly on the point. So Soldier is without protection, and the Sombra is right there waiting for the team to set up and to get the hack off and engage in. The ball is coming in on the Soldier.
Yeah, well, we can't see that on stream right now currently, as we have lost our Parsec feed.
Yeah.
So as much as you're giving us a nice radio play-by-play, I think you're gonna have to continue.
I mean, well, okay, yeah. So currently it looks like Unbind S are taking the point already. So yeah, the first fight is already over. We see some changes from. Oh, now we have a pause into the game. So from what I can see is that Unbind are doing some changes on the defense side, and they are switching to monkey composition.
Yeah, absolutely. But it appears now that because of the NA production that's happening right now, we'll be going to a quick break. Sorry that none of you in chat could end up seeing actually what happened on that first point, but we'll be back in a couple of minutes with the actual game.
Yeah.
Alright everybody, welcome back to the slightly scuffed Johnny's Scrims. We have already had the point cap happen here from Alpha Centauri on Blizzard World Offense. Sorry that none of you got to see that, but Luna, would you like to break down what actually happened?
Yes, so Sombra was set up back like on the high ground behind the point when the soldier went. So Bo engaged when with the Sombra, they had first pick on the Hanzo, then following up the Sombra, they went on the point, clashed on the point, and having the man advantage, just walked over the double shoot composition and capped the point. So now we see a swap, like I mentioned, Undind. They are going to play now with a dive.
Yeah, and actually a DPS down on both sides early on here. It's a bit of an overextension from both Lenoxy and Orcio, it appears, but now up in the left room, it's going to be absolute chaos. I mean, everyone just pressing that left click key, trying to, find some kind of kill, and there we go. Jabba's going to be the one to go down. Arcane managing to get that frag off, but Katzen falls. So, again, 2 DPS out of the team fight, but Oliver maybe overextending just a little bit. Thought their team was with them, but apparently not, as those mines did come through. That was a brilliant usage from DarthMurloc, and that ends up in a team fight win here as well for the side of Alpha Centauri.
Yeah, the minefield over there captured both supports. Actually, in the corner, they couldn't do absolutely anything to support their team. That was very unlucky for them. So now we see that Alpha, they are having ultimate advantage. They almost have every single ultimate.
Yeah, and this EMP is going to come through. It catches onto 3. Good stuff there, but nothing actually gained from the bomb of Tricks Cold. So Alpha Centauri kind of wondering where they went wrong, as Orcio has to clutch up with that pulse bomb onto Arcane. That's good, and again, layered support ults here, so it seems like Alpha Centauri just want to use every ultimate on this one team fight to guarantee the cap, but it does work out. They do get the cap through as they get the cleanup coming on here, and they will actually get a couple of late spawners here as well.
I think they could afford for it because they are playing this composition right from the start when Unbind as they needed to swap on the second point. Well, now they have to watch out because they Unbind as almost have the EMP, right? So we are looking forward to it being used soon, maybe in this fight.
Oh, there's a nice hack there onto Jabba. They're going to have to try and get out with their life, but instead it's Fabius and Nostalgia immediately going down. What a dive into the spawn room there from Katzen and Arcane. Arcane has been fragging out on the Lucio this entire time, getting so many eliminations through. A bit of a red at Lucio.
Yeah, a little bit of Sombra face-off there going on. Definitely trying to hack the Sombra so she cannot get any EMP.
Well, that's brilliant. I mean, Katzen gets the pulse bomb through, takes out Nostalgia, and I honestly think that's just a team fight win right off the bat. And there's no actual extra eliminations coming through, and since this fight is being taken this close up, Nostalgia just respawns, and now Unbind have lost their advantage. Seems like an ultimate wasted, if I do say so myself. They're going to have to try and engage at some point here. Well, Noxie and Jabba both have the EMP. Which one is going to use it first? As there is the engage coming through there. Now the EMP comes through, but it only catches Purple, but I think that's all you really need there for Alpha Centauri. They're going to catch out Purple, but it seems like there's a lot of kills going in the favor of Unbind S here, and yeah, Orcio kills himself with the pulse bomb, and that should just be, again, the payload rolling forward here.
Not gonna lie, the Alpha have the span advantage though, so even though the Unbind S are like doing very, very well, as soon as they are 1% down, they are on such a huge disadvantage, and that's why Alpha was able to win this fight. They had spawn right there. It is massive advantage.
Absolutely, and I mean, there's a lot of ultimates used there, but I think, honestly, Alpha are happy that there were a lot, because now they have this double support ult that they can use. Nostalgia can keep himself alive, Fabius can use it earlier on as well if they want to. There's the rally, like we were saying. A bomb into the back from Park, though, could be massive. It zones a couple people off, and actually, Oliver's going to get taken down, so Alpha Centauri still coming out on top in this team fight, it appears. Purple's going to fall as well. A pulse bomb there from Katzen, but it's going to go completely astray. And there we have it. Alpha Centauri are going to come up towards this final checkpoint here. Can they actually cap up?
I don't know if they are willing to change into role composition for the touching glass point, but no, I don't think they have time to change comp right now.
Yeah, there's a coalescence from Purple. It's gonna try and keep some people alive, but it's not as powerful as a Transcendence. I mean, Nostalgia just uses that, keeps everyone alive, and it's a massive EMP that comes through. Yeah, Jabba cleaning up on this team fight expertly. 2 minutes 9 seconds remaining for Alpha Centauri on Blizzard World offense. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that is very, very great. I think what they struggled with against like the ball composition, that okay, the double shield didn't work out. Okay, the double not double bubble. Oh my god, my brain has the dive composition with the Winston, but it was not working out either. So like what I would do, maybe change to brawl on the third point. It is not bad idea. Like if you are still struggling, and obviously it seems like it's not working. But very, very good play with the ult economy from the Alpha, and they showed us that they are very good actually on bow.
Yeah, absolutely. And Alpha Centauri, I think this is a style I need to keep on proceeding with, really. I love the way they're playing with such high tempo, just getting everyone into the enemy backline, and yet because they're playing Zen Brig instead of, for example, Zen Mercy or Ana Brig, they actually have a lot of firepower from that backline. You get the rallies, you get the transcendences. It's a lot of being able to keep yourself alive when you have the ultimates up, but as well, they're just able to deal a lot of work. If anyone on Unbind S wants to get in there and deal damage to supports, well, they're going to face a Discord from a Zen and a volley from a Zen. You're going to get the Brig Bash. So much sustainability for the backline.
But look, last time on last map we said that they are going for the hero play. You can do hero play on the ball composition. You cannot do that in brawl, but on the ball composition that is working out perfectly for them. I'm looking forward to see how now they will play against ball with a brawl, especially that they don't have the high ground advantage.
Yeah, there's the TP that comes onto the point, but the ball is right there. DarthMurloc got a massive roll through. Trex Gold, though, might end up falling here, actually. Gets demacked, so even though that 1-for-1 trade happens, it seems to favor Unbind S, who have this point control. They're setting up their sim turrets on the point as well. And these ticks just keep on gating for them. Now the contest comes through as DarthMurloc and Orcio try and get in there, but Orcio's going to end up falling, so will Fabius, a bit out of position there. And Unbind S are making this brawl composition look pretty efficient.
Yes, that's what they needed last round. To be fair, it was so unfortunate with Nostalgia being caught up in the middle of the team without anyone being able to help them out. That was potentially why they lost the fight after losing Zenyatta.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
But now we see almost the EMP coming, and the Sombra is already trying to set up. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Jabba almost has this EMP. This could be massive if they can manage to get it off in this team fight. And yeah, they're just going to send it straight in there, full court with it. And it should be able to clean up on this team fight instantly if Orcio is there for the follow-up, but they are actually. As DarthMurloc comes in and gets a power drive onto Purple. That's a stabilization that you needed for Alpha Centauri.
Such a good place to do EMP. They were positioned on the stairs. It is so tiny space there, so it is all in range of the EMP. Then they could just walk on them at this point. Okay, but now we see Unbind as having some ultimates. So now when they are pushing the payload, they can't really do anything right now except pushing the payload.
Yeah, we're going to end up seeing Shatter actually come through there, solo onto Fabius, so it gets elimination through, and Oliver also catches Nostalgia, so single-handedly taking down the backline. Orcio's going to stand here and poke a little bit, but it's not going to matter in the wider scheme of things, and now Unbind S are going to get a lot of progress onto this payload, especially with that stagger kill onto DarthMurloc.
Okay, I said that they cannot do anything except pushing the payload. I was wrong. The Sim TP strategy is working out for them once again.
Yeah, it's brilliant for them, and now they've got to deal with this adversity that comes from Jabba on the far. You do not have a hit scan to deal with it, so it's going to be very difficult. And I mean, Purple going down as well just makes it so much more difficult. Orcio gets the kill onto Arcane as well, so Alpha Centauri, they just kind of had their number from the start, right? They got a couple eliminations through, Jabba for 3k. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, Jabba almost have the barrage. It's very crucial for D.Va to be there and have this Matrix to eat it. So I hope to see that. but now the Symmetra is being actually swapped off as I was hoping to see. So now they have a head scan to deal with that Pharah, and let's see how this will go for them. Now,
Yeah, this
a
Cassidy...
nice rotation.
The problem with the Cassidy here is it has to deal with the Tracer and the Pharah. It is very difficult. As now the barrage comes through, it's gonna just tear through everyone on Unbind S, but there we go. Pog with the bomb catches the Pharmacy duo, and Nostalgia's gonna get zoned off into the back there as well. Very nice target focus from Unbind S, as now they should just start advancing this payload forward, but Oliver and Arcane have fallen. There is some opportunity here for Alpha Centauri if their players can get back. Jabba will be returning from spawn shortly, and Nostalgia goes over to the Lucio, so Unbind S, they're slowly going to fall one by one as Jabba returns, and that should have been their team fight to win. Park accidentally eats a pulse bomb after trying to Matrix the Pharah, and it's hard to say who will be winning this, but it looks like it'll be Alpha Centauri.
Yeah, we definitely see the set playstyle already by both of these teams. Obviously, okay, so there are some switches. Now they are playing multiple. They have time, so it's not for the touch. So I don't really know how they want to make it work. They are still changing some, but Lucio Messi, will it be enough to sustain?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure here if that's going to work out for them. We shall see, though. I mean, there is some opportunity of making it work, but Arcane going to end up falling there early on. And that's a problem, right? One of your supports goes down, you can't keep the other one alive. In fact, you can't keep the other one alive anyway. It's Lucio Mercy. 2 players down for Unbind S, and they are just sent packing. Orcio is tearing things up on the Tracer. Did get dealt with there, though, by Katzen, so a bit punished.
They do have a beat, so I think they want to hold on to Lucio to just use the beat, and they need to swap it, because what is Lucio giving you? There's nobody to speed, because everyone in this composition have the mobility ability, so it's like you don't speed boost anyone here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, for the lowest player on Alpha Centauri, Orcio's doing a lot of work. Almost has another Pulse Bomb already after just using it in the previous fight. The Valkyrie from Fabius will try and keep everyone alive. Nostalgia, in fact, being hard peeled for. There's the barrage that comes through. Jabba won't actually catch anything with it. In fact, it's Lenoxia that gets the kill instead, kind of diffing Orcio, like getting that kill onto the Tracer. Fabius is going to res up Nostalgia, but it is down to Jabba in the back. Can they actually get eliminations off of this hard flank? They managed to take out Katzen, and Oliver has fallen, so somehow Alpha Centauri, they are edging this one back into their favor, and with 30 seconds remaining, that is so crucial.
Yeah, the barrage was just eaten by the Diva. That was so unfortunate. They have only 20 seconds to contest. The point is, Diva, like, they are both tanks alive. They have the mobility to definitely do that, so they can stall, but I'm doubting that they will be able to have full team fight. Will be able to touch. There's nobody who can contest it.
Yeah, Oliver's going to try and get there in time, manages to just barely roll it through, but also has a pulse bomb to use here if they want to. They can get a kill with that, as Larxia's already fallen. There's a bomb from Trix called, that'll zone some people off of the car, and Katzen is just being completely destroyed in the 1v1 against DarthMurloc there. Now Jabba comes through with a barrage to keep everyone off of the point, actually gets entirely eaten up again, but Park will get demacked. Purple is not alone for this world. They have used the Valkyrie, but they're slowly just going to get edged down in terms of HP. And this is just looking like Alpha Centauri are going to stabilize and win the map right here. They just got to take down the Lunoxy, and the Mines does the job for them. There we have it, Alpha Centauri, they're evening up the series, and, well, we've got a banger on our hands, Luna.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I like, just let's take a look back and just look at the Sombra EMP. It was so beautifully, almost entire team just being hacked right here. And double hack all the way around. Oh, that is a pain.
Didn't it cancel the Coalescence as well?
I believe so that they did.
Yeah, so pretty big play.
Yeah, that was a huge play. So, definitely we are set when it's coming to the play style of both of the teams. One team is going for more of a hero play, and with their ball composition definitely working out for them. If they are going to do that on the brawl, like we saw, it didn't quite work out. So I believe that when Alpha will be able to, they will be able to sticking to ball compositions. That worked very well for them. When it's coming to Unbind has a better target focus. So by doing so, they're able to win the fight when they play more like brawl comps, because then they are just working together.
Yeah, absolutely. There are definitely some weak points, some strong points for both of these teams, but Alpha Centauri, they made Blizzard World go into their favor off of the back of, DarthMurloc, Orcio, both very good at combining with a pile drives. You saw DarthMurloc take a lot of very good mine engagements as well, so definitely a player to look out for going after the half, as we will be going to a short stream break here while the players rejuvenate a little bit, so don't go anywhere. More of what shortly. Welcome everybody back to the series of Unbind S versus Alpha Centauri. We're 1-1 at the half, and this has been quite an interesting series so far. We had one map where Unbind S seemed to just dominate, and then one where Alpha Centauri did. So definitely some interesting styles for these two teams, wouldn't you say, Luna?
Yes, definitely. Two different styles make many possibilities of how we are going to see this being played out. Because whoever will have the advantage of the playstyle and know the map better will be definitely having upper hand here. Because they will be defining how to play.
Yeah, absolutely. And on Route 66 here as well, I mean, if we're talking about the styles of the teams, I think that Alpha Centauri, they played that kind of ball style extremely well. DarthMurloc, Orcio, both very proficient on the ball and tracer respectively. And it kind of seemed like nothing that Unbind S threw at them was able to really unhinge that. So potentially Route 66 could be another ball map, and yeah, we'll see it there. So Unbind S, they're going to go over to a Sombra Reaper. I think this is alright. I think this deals with DarthMurloc pretty well. Problem is that Orcio can just go mad in the back.
Yeah, so this is difficult because we already saw this, and the monkey composition didn't work out even though they had high ground advantage. They are definitely going for the close play here in the train. They will have this high ground advantage, but the ball comp is very fast, so unless they will be able to get like Zenyatta, they will definitely have a hard time spawn camping, especially with the Pharah.
Yeah, I mean, Jabba was pretty good on the Pharah last time around. Didn't get too much value out of the barrages, but certainly played well in the neutral. And there's the boop as well. That's pretty nice. Actually gets Arcane out of the way just for a moment. And Jabba can actually come through. And the spawn camp again. It is so hard when you're just being pressured out from a million different angles. As there's a hack that comes through onto DarthMurloc, but again, it just doesn't matter. Unbind S cannot get into position to follow up onto it. And there's a nice boop off as well onto the Reaper. They'll get back onto the map, but it causes enough disruption.
Yes, but now we can see actually having a good target focus on the Zenyatta here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those Discords, if you can actually have target focus as a team, I mean, that is absolutely brilliant. And yeah, there's a team fight win for Alpha Centauri. In fact, Unbind S, they still want to stall in Cadets, but Arcane is just going to fall.
I mean, one thing you cannot say that the Unbind S is bad at the target focus. So even they are on disadvantage, even though they already struggled before this comp, even though they lost fight, they were able to still take down two. The hack on the Tracer was very crucial, and we saw the teammate cooperating with it too. So as soon as they will keep up this and just get a little bit more sustained to stay more alive, they will definitely win in the long fight.
Well, there's the barrage. It comes through. It's going to help damage Arcane and take him down. As Orcio catches a kill onto Purple as well as Katzen, just going mad right now, it appears. In fact, Unbind S are still trying to turn this around into their favor, though. They've got 2 kills. Anoxy and Park managing to do a good chunk of work here. Orcio's going to have to maybe try and clutch up in this team fight, but no. DarthMurloc is there, gets a kill onto the enemy number of Oliver. And that should be a teamfight win for Alpha Centauri. They just got to kill off these pesky few squishies as Coalescence engage. Purple wants to try and win this, and EMP as well, but Nostalgia is there with the Trance. That was a bit misguided, I think, from Unbind S. It does force out a couple of ults, though.
Yeah, so what we see from the Unbind S, they're a little bit all over the place. They are playing 6-man, they want to stay together. As long as they have the sustain and they drag out fight, they are winning because they are more brawly. So they want to definitely stay as long as possible together.
Yeah, but Unbind S, it seems like they're actually at the man advantage right now. The D-Mech Trick's cold. They're going to force out the Valkyrie here as well. Purple Nurple ends up going down. Orcio just cannot do enough to try and carry right now. As Jabba's going to get pressured out, Trick's cold almost goes down in the Baby Diva form. There's a Primal Rage from Oliver, and somehow Unbind S, they are stabilizing. They've got all 6 here, and they are just rampaging their way through. If Oliver does get taken down, the Discord was really crucial in that, and DarthMurloc uses the mines. This is absolute chaos right now, but Trick's cold gets the onto the Force Bomb. And now, I don't want to entirely call it, but I think that should be Alpha Centauri stabilizing and getting the cap.
I'm not quite sure because they have, well, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
Now that the Sombra and Moira fell down, right after initial, but they, like I said, the longer the fight goes for them, it's like as long as they stay on the target focus, they are able to contest it for a long time. Unfortunately for them, the one minus that they have, it's that they don't really have anything. Oh, now they swap to Ash. I was about to say they don't have really anything to deal with Ash, with Farah. So that was the minus, that Farah was just getting all this spam out. They are switching to Lisa. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on that swap. It's going to get dominated by Jabba if they can get an off angle. Orsio's into the back. He gets forced away by Arcane there. And Katzen really has to try and just zone it off of Jabba. There's a bomb into the back there and a power drive from DarthMurloc, but neither of them catch anything. There's the barrage, but nothing gained. Katzen has complete and utter just a firing range ahead of them right now. There is a bit of damage there onto the tank line of Unbind S, but it does not matter. The Pharmacy duo is gone. You'll see Jabba swap off onto the Sombra, and that's kind of a defeat swap there. You can't keep playing the Pharah into this.
Not gonna lie, but this is actually working out for them. They hold so many angles, they deny it so well, the dive, that yeah, they made swap on the fire. That's working out well for them. The contest is going, even though there's like 2 minutes till the time back, the payload is pushed up halfway.
Yeah, Lenoxi's gonna get taken down by Nostalgia there, right in that small room. Power drive comes through, gets a bit of disruption, and there we have it. Orsio gets into the back, kills off Purple. Jabba's there with a kill onto Park. And Alpha Centauri, they, after a long extended team fight, managed to get back into that. But I think Unbind S's composition here, in theory, does work out a lot better against what is being played by Alpha Centauri.
I'm just surprised because technically the longer the fight should go for the Unbind S, they are supposed to have more chances to win it. So they want to drag out the fight, but they were not able to get it this time. They still hold it very, very well, but somehow even after long fight, they are still losing the fight.
Yeah, and Lenoxi's actually kind of popping off right now. Gets 2 kills on the Torbjorn. Now the EMP from Jabba to turn things around potentially. And DarthMurloc and Orsio, as always, are there to clutch up. 3 kills between them. And Orsio gets the 4th as well. And they'll end up capping up this second point. They did not deserve to win that team fight, I'll tell you that much. That was going very much in Unbind S's favor for most of it.
I mean, the EMP was just...
It was massive.
Yeah, it was massive. We saw so many good EMPs this match today, like, just brilliant. What can I say? Okay, going back to the... Oh, they are actually going to swap to the Reinhardt now. Are they going to swap to full Brawl?
I think they'll probably just stay. They probably should have Katzen on something different than Ash, but Lenoxi can actually technically stay on the Torbjorn. There's a very nice volley there onto Katzen, takes them out. Nostalgia getting that kill off. So trades out for Fabius, but Nostalgia ends up falling. Oliver's just there in the front line, manages to swing onto them, and Park gets the peel as well here onto Jabba. So Unbind S again to stabilize on the defense. And I was saying that Katzen shouldn't be on this Ash. I think it's alright. They just have to try and play a bit more defensive.
I think you're right, but look, there is a Reaper. I'm not sure how Reaper is going to work into Torbjorn and Diva Reinhardt. I'm looking forward to that. Because...
And Brig.
Yeah, and Brig.
It's kind of looking scary here, potentially, for Orsio. There's the bomb that comes through, though. Yeah, Orsio immediately just pulls there. Does not have enough sustain for them. As Trixgold gets into the back with the bomb, does manage to catch Lenoxi. There's the shatter, though. Oliver manages to catch 2 with it. The follow-up is there. Katzen, from the long firing angle, manages to make that work. And now, the time is just trickling down, and Unbind S do not look like they're yielding anytime soon.
Yeah, but now we are seeing swaps from Alpha, because definitely Ryan is in the favor here on the start, maybe later. Like, it's still, this point is Ryan point, so definitely he is getting the advantage here.
Yeah, absolutely, and the only thing that really can be used here by Alpha Centauri is this EMP. You'll need to catch it onto Purple Nurple, because otherwise the immortality is there, so it's all down to Jabba. Can they actually make this work? There we go, they catch the EMP, it catches onto the Baptiste. This should be huge from Alpha Centauri, but they're not converting it into a kill. The rally was just too much for them to contend with, apparently, as now the Molten Core will come through onto the point, layering it down, dealing all that damage that you need. Lenoxy gets a kill with the turret as well. That'll be Unbind as stabilizing on the third point of Route 66 here. They were, I mean, that comm swap was just brilliant from them, I'll tell you that much. And yeah, they'll be thankful they stabilized that.
I mean, let's take a look at that. Why this composition worked out so well? Because we have the Ashe, we have lots of high ground for the Ashe there, and lots of angles that she can take. We have the Reinhardt, it is very tiny space. That is like very, you know, it's not wide, it's very thin space. So Reinhardt can just walk all over the place, swinging the hammer. Diva can very easily access the high ground, so she can peel for the Ashe. It's very close everywhere. Brick and Baptiste, they are like, you know, just very defensive composition. It was very difficult to counter it, especially on this choke.
Yeah, absolutely, and now I think that, like, Unbind S, they should just stay on this composition. I don't think there's any reason to swap off of it. You know, you can argue that maybe Arcane should be on a Lucio here to try and speed people into position. They are on the offense, after all, but I still think that the Brig can do a decent job. The issue is when you go into a composition like this and you actually have to try and rotate around it, Brig might not be as effective, and I think that is the point of contention here. Will Arcane actually be able to make an impact, or will he end up swapping off onto Lucio?
Okay, I actually can tell you they Unbinders will swap off because they are expecting another bug composition, but they are not getting it without the Lucio speed. Or like with this composition, it's so wide open point. I don't think they will stay on this.
Well, we'll end up seeing. I mean, Katzen and Lenoxy, at least they kind of deal with Orcio on off angles. That's the only real saving grace here for the composition. I really do not see how this Unbind-esque composition really works, though, against what Alpha Centauri is running. There's so many different angles to contend with. That's an inspirational pin. We'll say that much. Pretty ambitious. Does actually get underneath Big Earls, though, so at least manages to take some space that perhaps they would have needed to walk towards earlier on. The issue here is that Alpha Centauri, Trix Cold specifically on this off angle, is just spamming out. They are going to try and rush onto the Sigma, but in doing that, Orcio on the other side of things with that Orisa on Big Earls is just managing to deal all that damage. Jabba gets a kill, and yeah, you're just dealing with two different angles. Unbind-S cannot play this.
Yeah, definitely, like, the spam composition is countering the brawl. That's why I said that I am definitely looking to them swapping. Unless they get Symmetra, get access to the high ground, or, like, get, like, very crucial picks, or do a very good rotation, like, under the gas and get on this high ground with the sustain of the back. But no, it looks like they're trying to follow the same rotation.
Well, they managed to catch two, well, three, actually, there. So Unbind-S, yeah, that speed boost really was a difference maker there. Oliver got into position, did a bunch of the swings. Katzen and Lenoxy as well from the back ropes, just able to deal so much damage. And yeah, they'll cap up the first point off of that.
Definitely. So maybe didn't change the entire composition, just the Lucio. Now I think it's... Yeah, there's still many angles that double-shift can take. I'm looking forward how they will do the rotation here, but it looks like they are going behind them, like through the left, and they will access the stairs and go from there. But the Diva is getting captured, like, in the middle of the team fight.
Yeah, look at this rotation, though. Unbind-S, they are getting onto the high ground. They get the shatter through. Nostalgia gets just face plants into the ground there. Now the Dragon Strike comes through, and it'll at least cut through the remaining members of Unbind-S. And yeah, that was a bit of an ambitious rotation from them, I'll tell you that much. They really did the ring around the rosy there.
I mean, that composition will be working out as long as they will make the proper rotations and the proper target focus, which we know they are good at the target focus. Well, they are on the disadvantage in the long side, but as long as they get close, they should be winning this fight, because the spam composition has nothing to deal with them. Maybe McCree and Brick. That's it.
Yeah, maybe the Cassidy here, to be fair, but Who knows? And Jabba gonna go down, so Lenoxy getting a first kill off. That has happened various times here for Unbind S, but can they convert it into a teamfight win? Again, they're gonna get forced off the high ground. DarthMurloc falls though, so Lenoxy again kind of clutching up here. The rally is not gonna be able to save the remaining members as Orzio just funneled into a small room. But instead, it's gonna be Purple and Arcane that end up falling? Unbind S, they kind of let their guard down, and now, slowly but surely, Alpha Centauri are edging their positioning forward and forcing everyone back.
Yeah, sorry, I'm still not used to the name Cassidy, so sometimes I will say the
all
old
good.
name. I apologize for that. So still not swapping, still staying with their rotations. Well, now they are playing against the Bow. So we did see a swap from Alpha. It's going to make it more difficult because now they will get interrupted by the ball on the rotation. So they need to be really careful about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Orzio here, building up towards this high noon. This could be massive to deny a rotation from Unbind S, but they need to build it up in time first of all as Oliver comes in. Gonna go aggressive, gets a shower onto 3. There's the bomb from Park as well. Catches onto Cold. And that should be, I mean, where? How does that catch Orzio off of the map? I'm not entirely sure, but Gadsden getting 2 kills as well. That was an interesting team fight.
Yeah, they did rotation, and this time there was no Orisa to block the shatter, so the shatter went through beautifully, and Sigma was just too late to block it.
Yeah, and Orzio, I mean, I still don't know how they went off the map because of a bomb there. There must have been a lot of knockback, but alas, it ends up in a teamfight win there for Unbind S, and now they have 3 minutes to get it to this small golden box just midway through the 3rd point. It is going to be very, very difficult for Alpha Centauri to hold this. They need to really combine these ultimates together. Gold has a Gravitic Flux coming up soon, though. So if they can use that, but I was going to say they can combine it with the High Noon, but they just cannot at this point. Gold going to use the Flux, but it completely whiffs it. Doesn't catch anyone. Now the beat from Arcane comes through. They're going to aggress onto the front line. DarthMurloc just being slapped around like a fish. And that should be Unbind S just taking Route 66 dominantly here. They just need to kill off the remaining player on cart, takes him down, and they'll be going 2-1 up in the series. They are 1 map away now from finishing things off, and honestly, as soon as they swapped onto that Brawl composition, they looked really good.
Yes, like I mentioned, it's like they have good direct focus, so on this Brawl they are doing very, very well because they are staying together. So the reason why Alpha had problem here with holding the last point, it is because they didn't have enough defensive. They had less Broly. They had Sigma, who's less Broly than Diva. Of course, they had this ultimate that they wanted to keep. They wanted to use it. Unluckily, it didn't pay off. So it is kind of like a risk game. It's like either I keep a character that I know is not going to work out as good as the character that they have, and I'm gonna try to pull a clutch with my ultimate, and the ultimate is not gonna work, and you know, it's just kind of unlucky at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And Unbind S here, I mean, honestly, their name is kind of checking out here. They're playing this Brawl composition where they're just playing hyper-aggressive. They're and it's not even just that they're playing very aggressive, right? Because you wouldn't assume that with a composition like Ashe and Torbjorn, you'd be able to get in there and go aggressive. But the way they're playing it is that Oliver just runs into the front line with Arcane, with Purple, bats people around, and then once Alpha Centauri actually, you know, get their things together, get their comms together, and actually target focus one person down, their entire team is dead to either Lenoxy or Katzen, or, you know, a bunch of ultimates that Unbind S have used. And I think they're being the kind of initiators now, and Alpha Centauri need to go back to ball compositions and stuff like that, because as much as it's going to be hard to play ball into Torbjorn, into Ashe, that kind of stuff, just don't put Jabba on the Pharah. That deals with the Ashe entirely, because then you just play, what, Sombra Tracer, I guess, for Alpha Centauri, and it completely negates the Ashe, because they're going to get bursted down in an instant. Alpha Centauri, it's a basic fix for them. Just adapt your original ball composition slightly, and I think, honestly, they're doing pretty good for themselves. The ball compositions can work pretty well on Volskaya as well, because there's a 2CP map. You're going to have a lot of easy rotations for your flankers.
Yeah, but also on Volskaya, we did see this double shield, so I'm like, the double shield is also like working very, very well. As long as you don't like. Okay, so what they had here that they didn't have on Route 66. So here we have like on defense, they just had high grounds. And if they are playing brawl, which we know that Unbind S is good at, if they are going to walk left side, you just rotate all the way. You have the bridge on the other side. So you are constantly having the spam going through and you're just rotating to other side. Whenever the ball is going like one side, you go the other side, you're rotating your core. So I think that will work out quite well against Unbind S on the defense.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so then they could be just swapping into like dive composition instead of brawl. And then we just see the constant changes of the comp, trying to play around each other using your own strengths, and we see just the circle going around. So who's actually starting first on defense?
Should end up being Unbind S here, so hopefully they'll play. I mean, they could honestly just play the Ash Torbjorn again. I think here. I think that's at least a safe bet to come out on here. Put Lenoxy on the Torbjorn, Katzen on the Ash, and we'll see if they do it. Yeah, they do. So they're gonna be doing it well. To some extent, they're gonna have Lenoxy on the Torbjorn in a rush composition. No, okay, it's a Sombra. So this is actually a complete change from what they were playing before.
Yeah, that's true. I'm thinking about this because I think that is the wisest decision they can do right now, to go on defense with the Winston composition. But of course, Alpha going off destroying and they are going both. That's going to be quite difficult because we saw them losing already against the ball comp on the Winston composition. So probably some changes will be made after the first fight lost.
Yeah, probably. I mean, this it's gonna be hard for DarthMurloc to survive against a Reaper or Sombra. I mean, to be fair, if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be off Centauri. But immediately, Katzen into the back, kills off the backline single-handedly. Oliver does end up falling here, and actually also gets a kill onto Lenoxy, so it isn't quite over here yet. As Alpha Centauri are looking to bite back, but there's not enough pressure on that point. They're not going to get, well, any of the kills they need, any of the follow-up kills they need. And yeah, like you say here, it's probably going to end up being a comp swap, but no, Alpha Centauri don't want to do that, okay.
No, I think they actually worked quite well with them because they had good target focus. So they assume as the alphas like just split, they bursted them one by one down.
Yeah, and Olsio into the back, gonna use that pulse bomb, but I guess he's not Park. Nice flick E coming through there. And Olsio actually gonna get zoned off on the sidelines here as well. And look at how the Zen and the Brig are both caught on the periphery. They do manage to get away with their lives, but that could have been risky to say the least. Oliver's into the midst of things. That is ambitious. They get in there, they get taken down. Fabius does get traded out, however, so it's okay here. You get the coalescence coming through, and that's a lot of damage. Might need some Flex Seal for that one if you are of Centauri. And also it does get an exit pick onto Lenoxy, but it just won't be enough. Like, it's not gonna matter.
I think that they worked out how to play against the ball comp of Alpha. They were struggling with it so hard at the start, but now we can see them actually dominating so far. I don't want to like jinx anything, but so far they are doing very well.
Yeah.
But now Alpha have EMP, so even though they are an ultimate disadvantage, EMP is just huge. As long as they are getting the people who hacked who have actual ultimates, then it's going to be very crucial.
Yeah, indeed, and Lenoxy here with the EMP. In fact, no, they're going to get caught by it as Jabba gets the EMP off instead. That is massive. Now the Pulse Bomb comes through, it catches onto Arcane. They can't build up the beat in time. It is down to everyone Alpha Centauri to follow up onto this now. They use a Transcendence, so there's no chance of any of them falling. They're able to just pressure out the remaining members of Unbind S. That was a well-timed EMP from Java. I do not think that was intentional, but it was huge.
That was 5-man EMP.
Yeah.
That was like Yeah, that's what I said. They hacked the people who had ultimate, so they couldn't even counter it because they just couldn't press the button. And that is the most frustrating thing you can have when you have the ultimate but you cannot use it.
Uh, okay, interesting. But now, I mean,
Okay.
listen, that is the opportunity to go in here. Alpha Centauri, they're gonna start moving forward. Arcane's gonna use that beat to try and re-engage and, well, keep everyone alive. In fact, they're not even gonna get in there and deal damage. Okay, there we go. There's the bomb EMP. It comes through. The backline falls. And Unbind S, they dealt with that kind of throw from Anoxy pretty well.
Okay,
They came back from that.
okay. No, that was not a throw. That was strategic. It was the bait. It was the bait.
Strategic. Okay, maybe in my plot games, but not here.
No, I definitely after that play from Unbind, I need to call it a strategic thing, okay? Because they baited them to go in and they won the fight, okay?
Okay, I'll give you that. I mean, Lenoxy did get back and use the EMP, so I suppose, but now, speaking of EMPs, Jabba is going to have one coming up pretty shortly, so Alpha Centauri, they've got to try and not get spy checked here from Jabba, but as well, they need to try and catch Purple in this EMP. If Purple gets caught, that'll be huge. There's the EMP, it catches them, so no coalescence. Orcio on the sidelines looking to take out the Baby Diva, and Oliver falls as well. Brilliant stuff coming through there. Now the Death Blossom, though, comes through. Katzen, though, not catching anything. And actually, it's going to come down to this coalescence. Purple finally gets it online and manages to use it, but they're just going to get bursted down bit by bit here, forced away, unable to make anything come from it. They'll get taken down, no more healing to be had for Unbind S. And Nostalgia can just pop the Transcendence, promptly ending this team fight as soon as they kill off the Monkey and the remaining players.
Yeah, Alpha had 4 crucial ultimates there, so they just walked on the points with having them, and that's how they get the control of the point. And now I think it's pretty much on the stalling meta, because I don't think they can contest it.
Yeah, I mean, there is some contest there, but it's not going to end up in an actual good team fight win there. And that was, I mean, it was brilliant stuff there. Nostalgia kind of extended the team fight out by using the Transcendence and managing to keep their team alive to at least clean up on that team fight. Because it was looking a little bit dicey there. There were a couple players remaining for Unbind S, so I like the discipline. I like how some of them saved their ultimates, some of them used them later on in the stall fight. And Alpha Centauri, I mean, it worked for them, so now they'll be on the defense.
Yeah, so, like I mentioned before, I am looking forward to the double shield. So please give me the double shield, please, because I want to talk about how double shield is so a nice composition here.
Yeah, I mean, manifest a double shield, why not? Oh, no.
I mean, to be fair, it is quite strong too, but look, like I predicted, the Unbind test is going on the... Wait. Okay, they are changing something now. Okay, they are trolling me. Like I predicted that Unbind S is going to play the Brawl here. So the double shield will work out for the Alpha God, but if they are preferring something comfortable like the Brawl, ball composition, the ball can also interrupt the rotation of the ball and the Pharah with the Pharah spam. So I believe that Unbind S will prefer to go left side because then they will take less damage rather than on right side with the more open space.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Jabba's going to be deadly here if they manage to get damage done in the rotations. Orcio and DarthMurloc, I like this kind of positioning from them. They're going to go for an early engagement. Katzen going to get a lot of damage dealt onto them, but nothing gained from that. In fact, Orcio in a very precarious position and gets taken down by Lenoxy. That is unfortunate. Jabba's going to have to try and pick up the mantle in terms of the damage now, but they're getting forced out by Katzen, forcing them down onto the low ground. Here's the engage from DarthMurloc, gets a power drive through. That in combination with a rocket deals a lot of damage, 70% here for Jabba. If they can get in a position and build up that barrage, it could be massive. A nice anti comes through there, like you say, yeah, Nostalgia maybe making the difference here. Arcane's gonna fall, and so will Anoxy as soon as Jabba gets their grubby hands on them. And what a re-engage from Alpha Centauri. Orcio goes down, but they still manage to win the team fight.
Reinhardt? Okay. Okay, I call it. It will be Nano Barrage. Or Nano Pharah at least. Because I don't see who else you could like possibly Nano, maybe Tracer.
Mercy.
But, Yeah, of course. I think I'm actually. Give me a moment.
The Nano Mercy is too menacing for you, clearly.
I have trauma experience, alright?
Alright. Well, Jabba's into the bag. There's the barrage. No Nano Mercy needed instead. An instant teamfight win for Alpha Centauri. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, no, I did have a witness of like me being nanoed as a Mercy, and then I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why I'm nanoed? But yeah, let's talk about the actual game and our players. So we see a swap on instant composition. It is going to be difficult. They need to like do it a little bit more brawly than the Ivy. And yeah, Winston will just shove these mines that is very good actually for them.
Yeah, but Oliver is going down extremely low there. Somehow stays alive though. Purple Nurple keeping them up. There is a bit of an assassination there onto the Ash, and Arcane falls, but I don't think that is enough for Alpha Centauri to turn this one around. The bomb ends up coming through there, but nothing gained from Tricks called. Orsio's going to try and single-handedly kill off that Torbjorn. Almost succeeds actually, but the Coalescence comes through. Forcing out that Coalescence is good for Alpha Centauri though, because there's only 2 players there. That did not need to happen. A re-engage from DarthMurloc though gets onto the point with that pile drive, and Orsio is also here. If DarthMurloc can stay alive just a little bit longer, but no, Orsio ends up falling. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, so I think the competition was actually very well for them. Especially that knowing that Bo have the ultimate, it's just like Winston is just shoving down the mines, and it's like entire ultimate for free, basically done. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Oh, the bot is coming on the point.
Yeah, an early engage here actually coming through. Unbind S wanting to put forward that tempo. They get the beat. Orsio's going to have to wait out before they can use the Pulse Bomb. They are going to hide, but I mean, Katzen is just zoning off the enemy Pharah here. There's a lot of kills coming through from the DPS players. Orsio is the only one standing right now nearby to the point. There we go. Pulse Bomb comes through. It catches onto the Torb turret. Okay. That's an interesting investment, I'll give you that. Jabba will come back with the barrage pretty shortly, though. If they can make something work with this, it'll be insane. As they manage to catch Katzen, and there's no res, actually, for Unbind S critically, because they're not playing Mercy. So that's 1 player down, and that's at least a start here for Alpha Centauri. They take down Lunoxi as well. The DPS line's gone, but unfortunately, DarthMurloc just getting bursted down bit by bit, and Orsio's the only one left standing. Cap comes through, and that's a better time bank for Unbind S.
Yeah, actually, what happened here is that Anna was on big disadvantage after the swapping comp. It's because with the brawl, Anna was safe. She could make a safe rotation. You saw how big antis she was doing, and it was actually very, very huge and carried the fight. But then after the swap to Winston, the Anna is just being dived. We have no break because there's Mercy for the Pharah. So either you want to swap the Pharah and Mercy to like Echo and a break so you can have more protection for the Anna, or you just need to swap off the Anna like right away because you're just being dive and dive over again, and it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, okay, so they're gonna be, so it'll be Unbind S sticking onto this kind of somber Reaper composition on their defense. I see. This is more of a composition where you want to play aggressive, so I guess they'll be playing close up to the choke with this, and I'm pretty sure that actually deals well, again, like we said before, with the composition that Alpha Centauri's playing. DarthMurloc can't really hard engage when the choke is being just completely held up.
Okay, so this is actually like a lot of the times because we are going to the third round, so like the times are also very, very similar, right?
I mean, yeah,
so,
50-second difference. Yeah, it's pretty similar.
Yeah. So.
Oh, the early engage! Unbind S! The 5-head, oh my word. That's, well, I can't really say much about that. That was just a quick surprise engage. Love to see it.
You know what? I was about to say something, but then I already saw that Reaper going in, and I was like, you know what? I'll just shut up and just let you watch.
Well, you can say it now.
Well, yeah, the setup really caught them off the surprise. So I was about to say that it actually might work out, but it definitely did. So doesn't matter what I wanted to say now.
All right, well, Jabba at least getting a good bit of damage in, but there's the hack onto Fabius. They're going to get slowly chunked down. Can they stay alive? No, they cannot. Arcane is traded out, however, so it's not too bad here for Alpha Centauri. I still don't think they can go in, though. Kadzin's there in the back, assassinates Nostalgia. And I think it's better spawns for the attackers here, and they do manage to get a kill onto Park as well. Alpha Centauri are coming back into this with a vigor. I mean, they should be able to just slowly pressure the point out, and everyone's going to have to bite back here. And that's okay. Orcio gets killed right as they use the Pulse Bomb. That's unfortunate. And now the only ultimate that exists here, well, there's going to be a barrage pretty soon for Alpha Centauri. DarthMurloc falls, though, so they can't quite engage, and they just have to go back and wait.
Again, I'm afraid as they don't have anything to do with the power. Like, if you would have Ana, then maybe, but Pharmacy, like, maybe you can call the Pharmacy, like, the EMP, but, like, the hack of the power will be crucial for sure, because you don't have any hit scan, so you definitely need to be careful.
Well, there's a barrage that comes through. Nothing gained from it. They were completely eaten up there. Lenoxi might want to EMP this, but they get cancelled in the middle of it. I still don't think that will matter, though, because Unbind S, they've already got the man advantage. They'll be able to kill off this Mercy on the sideline here as Park M goes for the peel onto them, forces them into the small room. They end up coming out onto the point, but gets taken down eventually. And Oliver going for a bit of an airborne battle with the Farah will end up, I think, taking them down. No, it'll be Jabba, in fact, just dropping off into the pit. But yeah, this is either a draw or lose situation now for Alpha Centauri. And if they don't get this draw, I mean, that's the series over. Unbind S are pretty ahead right now, I would say.
I mean, I am still shocked after what I saw. Was that Blossom trying to kill Farah?
I don't know.
Because I saw the Farah, like the Blossom was on the high ground, and the only person nearby was Farah. So I think they were trying to like the new Pharmacy counter Reaper.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it was worth a try. They didn't have anything to lose. To be fair. Now we have something interesting going on because we have Winston. We have Echo. And Torbjorn, it's justified, but the supports, there's no Mercy, there's no Anna, that is not standard composition at all. Because you are half stationary, half mobile. It is no 6-man, no double bubble. Oh wait, we have a swap here?
Yeah, okay, so why have we suddenly got an Echo duel here? I don't understand how this is transpired, but I guess we're getting it now. Jabba versus Katzen. Let's see which one's better. I mean, Jabba has been very good with the Farah, so the skills kind of translate over to Echo. Not so much, but you can see the similarity. Jabba, though, what are you aiming at? Like, they just get taken down by Katzen immediately. That is, yeah, that's just a win here for Unbind S. They're pressing forward. They're taking that advantage from the 2 kills they've got. There's an attempt here from DarthMurloc to power drive that high ground and deal with Katzen, but it isn't enough. The tick is slowly going to come towards the side of Unbind S, and yeah, that's a very, very aggressive engage onto the back line, onto Fabius, onto Nostalgia, takes him down. And it's basically just Orcio against the world. It has been the entire series long, let's face it. Orcio and Jab against the world, but doesn't end up going in their favor this time around. And Unbind S win the series 3-1.
Yes, great performance, definitely. A lot of the clutches, a lot of very, very good places, and just the strategy and the approach was just very surprising and something that you definitely don't see every single day.
Yeah, and this is a very skilled play of the game. We'll say that much. Just pressing Q and can play the game. You'll love to see it, but yeah, a brilliant match from both of these squads. Unfortunately, Alpha Centauri, they kind of just, I think, fell off towards the end. They lost their momentum that they were getting off of playing the kind of bull compositions and that kind of stuff. I think they needed to adapt a little bit to what Unbind S were doing. And actually, I'm not too surprised about this victory here for Unbind S, because they have been playing together about 6 months more than Alpha Centauri have. But the fact that Alpha Centauri made it close means that later on into the Johnny Scrims tournament, they can at least be happy about their chances against the other teams, because Unbind S, I mean, they looked really good today. I mean, it was going to be hard to beat them regardless.
Yeah, the Undind test is actually like I believe they are out of the academy for free team. So it is that they definitely have somebody to look up to. They have like the colleagues that they can help out from the higher tier. So also they can develop like faster by having support from more experienced players.
Yeah, absolutely, and I mean that played a part today as well. If they're having some sort of coaching, it is definitely visible today. They played really well. They adapted really well mid game, which is something you don't see a lot from any team that's below kind of the open division level, right? You're looking at like your 3.9 plus teams that are really good at adapting mid game, mid fight, that kind of stuff, and really, Unbind S did that brilliantly today. We will be announcing our MVP. And I'm pretty sure it will end up being Oliver, who was on the side of Unbind S, and really just a Chad main tank, if there ever was one, doing a lot of work there, both on the Brawl and when they were playing the Monkey. They were always kind of being the sacrificial lamb, I think, in both of those competitions, playing so aggressive. But that kind of just allowed for the rest of the team to follow up on it, and they did also have some pretty cool plays themselves as well with the Shatters, so love to see it.
Yeah, but you also like for me the moment that like highlighted everything was the Route 66 third point when the Rhine contest was just so strong there. I mean, I think that any like it was just like on like I know it was all team effort of course, but the Olivators did a lot and did different there. Because without that Rhine, if you would have any other tank there, I don't think they would be able to hold it so well.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a brilliant performance on Race 6 from them. And yeah, I mean, congratulations to Unbind S for winning 3-1 today. That'll be wrapping up the coverage for today, so thank you all for watching. It has been I, Toasty, joined by Lunaire. Thank you to our prod team as well, of our General Lord Zelron, and of course our lobby host, Maddie Scrims, as well. We'll be seeing you in the next couple of days, I think, for another game, so make sure you tune in for that.
Yeah, you definitely will be seeing me tomorrow. So if you want to see more of my casting and more calling Cassidy by his old name, so definitely come by.
Yep, see ya.